And that's the beauty of this, is there's no other. There's nothing left out. It can be infinite, and it can also be finite, and it can be both at the same time easily. Because these are all conceptual designations. These are all ultimately artificial designations. Let's explore consciousness. Now, many people have theories about consciousness, the origin of consciousness, whether it's produced by mind, whether it's primary to form and matter. These are theories. These are essentially beliefs and thoughts. So in this investigation, we're not interested in beliefs and thoughts. We're going to go beyond beliefs and thoughts. So if that conceptually to you lines up with your idea of consciousness, fine. If that conceptually for you binds you into some kind of system of belief, then maybe just disregard the word consciousness. We don't have to attach to any word or term about what we're pointing to, because this exploration is purely experiential. We're talking about direct experience, direct insight. So don't worry about any theory you hold of consciousness, and if the word is somehow triggering or heavy for you, just disregard the word. It could be anything. We could use any word. The word is just a pointer. The experience or the direct insight is what matters. So this is what we're exploring today. So first of all, just for a moment, acknowledge the mere awareness of anything at all. The mere consciousness of anything at all. The mere capacity to experience anything at all. However that arises for you now, or however that appears for you now. Just a momentary acknowledgement. Not an analysis, not a judgment. Just touching in, recognizing, perhaps settling in. Let's simply acknowledge the capacity to hear these words. Let's simply acknowledge the capacity to see what's in front of your face, to see the colors and shapes and forms and images and whatnot. Let's further just acknowledge the capacity to think, to conceptualize, to hold any view, to analyze, to judge. Just for a moment, just recognize these capacities, and that this capacity itself is here right now. Now, what if we explore that a bit? That mere recognition. The mere recognition, even though maybe it doesn't have a shape or form, it's not taking any specific shape or form right now, although it could be, but it doesn't have to. It has the capacity for formlessness. Perhaps it's primarily formless and can take form or can take shape. This is what we're exploring. So just take a moment to recognize that, to open to that, to let it clarify in your experience a bit. Notice how it feels. Notice how it feels without necessarily adding labels, without necessarily analyzing or comparing to any other experience or memory. Just notice the bare feeling of it. And you may notice that bare feeling, that bare experience of the, let's call it knowingness for this moment, is not apart from the awareness of it, is not apart from the consciousness that makes it possible. Notice how thoroughly homogeneous, how thoroughly interwoven these experiences really are when we're not standing back. We're not thinking about them as such. We're not judging them. We're not taking a position in reference to them. And thus, they aren't really a them. They're not an object of experience. They're more like an ocean of experience. The ocean and that which carries the ocean or makes the ocean possible, or perhaps you could say is aware of the ocean, aren't two. The ocean and the capacity for there to be an ocean at all are one and the same, seamless, without edge. You could say it's perfect fidelity. You could say there's no place that they don't overlap. You could say that all experience here overlaps. All experience overlaps fully with the consciousness that makes the experience possible, or you could say the awareness of the experience, all seamlessly and completely overlapping, such that there is nothing left out here. Now, if that resonates, if you get that experientially, just rest there. Notice how thoroughly homogeneous it is, how thoroughly without boundary, how thoroughly without any specific limitation or edge or starting place or finishing place. This thoroughness, this oceanic nature, is one of the clearest indicators that this experience is what I'm pointing to when I use the term unbound consciousness. Again, the term doesn't matter too much. If you're caught up in doubt, you'll be going, oh, is this unbound consciousness? I'm not sure. Is it like this or like that? Or comparing it to some memory, right? If that's happening, that's okay. Those are thoughts. And those thoughts can be an entry point. We can kind of start from the beginning again with those thoughts. Just start with the mere recognition that there is thought at all. Start with the mere recognition that there is an ability to be aware of thought at all. And that's your entry point. And then you explore gently, without expectation and without analysis, without logic or comparison or memory or judgment. And you'll find that that's actually a rather big space. The space of thought, when we don't posit an edge to the thought, when we don't posit a beginning or end to the thought, becomes large, vast, beyond measure. So this is beyond measure, what we're talking about. Beyond measure, beyond your ability to measure. So if there's measuring going on, that's okay, but all you're really measuring is measurement. If there's thought going on, that's okay. There's just thought thinking about thought. But that which makes the thought possible is vast, beyond measure. It's not about anything. It's beyond aboutness. So judgment doesn't land here. There's nowhere for judgment to appear such that it is apart from anything. The judgment is really just one formation of this vastness of consciousness. A thought is just one formation of the vastness of consciousness. A self-reflection is nothing but an indicator for this vastness of consciousness. And once that self-reflection, or let's be clear about what I mean by that, that knowing of the sense of I or the sense of being as this entirety of consciousness, once that dawns, then it kind of stands on its own. It encapsulates everything, encompasses everything. It is everything. Everything you've ever thought, believed, doubted, understood, judged, rejected, everything you've kicked out of your belief system, everything you said, no, that's not true. That doesn't exist within truth. All of that, all of what you believe exists within truth, all of it is just this experience of I am, or I am everything, or everythingness, or infinite being. Because it has no limitation, it has no boundary. So no matter how clever the ego is, no matter how sharp your mind is, it can never find its way out of this, because it's appearing within it. You, as you know yourself, are appearing within this. You, with your history, are appearing within this. Just a momentary movement in this conscious, vast ocean. Conscious, vast ocean. I could even say that conscious really is more of a description. It's not a thing or a place, because things and places exist within the mind. It's just a word to point you to what's always happening, what couldn't not be happening. Do you notice how vast it is? Do you notice how it is beyond measure, meaning to even say it's vast is kind of pointless. Doesn't do us any good. All that can do, really, to say it's vast or large or even infinite, all that can really do is define it such that it's seemingly not other than that. And that's the beauty of this, is there's no other. There's nothing left out. It can be infinite, and it can also be finite, and it can be both at the same time easily. Because these are all conceptual designations. These are all ultimately artificial designations. This can be a really hard place for some people who really have a strong grasp on the intellect, because we don't want to believe that there's something beyond our intellect. We don't want to believe there's something that's more primary, more real, more vast, more all-encompassing than our own mental model of reality, mental model of the world. But even that belief that we hold on to so dearly, that my sharp mind and my sharp view of reality is the right one, or is accurate, or is more accurate than others, or whatever, even that is just one thought, one wave on the cosmic ocean. When you recognize that and you're willing to let go into the ocean, you're in a good place. Now, all of this video, all of this is nothing conceptual. I've never intended to give you a model or a belief system. Hopefully you're following this experientially. And if it points you finally to land where you've always been, to land in this very distinct recognition that this infinite nature is already the case, never has not been the case, could never not be the case, and you feel that, and you are that, then you just let go. Let that take you. Stay with it. Like a railroad track that goes on into infinity. You've discovered the most precious thing in the entire universe. Don't squander it. Stay there. That's what this is about. It's what it's always about. It's all I'm ever talking about. So let all those words go. Let all those memories go. Let all those beliefs about what your life is about go. Let all those beliefs about what spirituality is about go. Let it all go. That's it.